The coming awakening. The above and the below are one. I have a picture of a man and woman reaching forth together. Awakening comes unpredictably when it chooses. Hours of meditation, prolonged exercises, repetitions, affirmations may lead nowhere, save for confused breathing and muscular aches. My own experiences have always come unexpectedly with no stimulants. I have noticed there are various levels in enhanced consciousness. There is the happy Summerland adventure. I see tapestry on our walls shake, and the pictures become real. I go to the garden, and it is in another wider space and time, luminous, strangely coloured, and each blade of grass, every daisy, each weed is an emblem of some greater reality. Our world is a picture book of a greater sphere of being. I have a feeling that I'm outgrowing such sweetness and bliss, the harmony with every person and creature. The change is a sudden influx of mind and spirit. Here I'm aware of evil, but this is a part of a whole web of life that has a meaning. I once saw why a boat was capsized in the ocean. That everybody on board drowned. It was not an accident. There was a connecting link between destiny and each person. In this state of mind there are no accidents. All has purpose. Evil is but the unreal shadow of the real, created for us to grow as individuals, not just obedient spirits. In other words, we learn to choose. The final stage for me was to awaken from pure mind and spirit, and to be aware of love and truth in brilliant colours. In this state, every heartbeat of the cosmos is interrelated, whether star or plant, all. Without this flow, no brilliance of spirit can exist. Too many people go high and white and pure and bright, and forget love, ordinary, humble kindness. My own dedication came from sudden awareness of identity with the white light of Isis, a shining silver-white feminine figure with wide shining lightning flashes extending from either side of her head. This encompassed the stars, so I learned that without truth, love becomes dissipated. We all know it gets rather sickly, untruthful and sentimental, twisted. I've always received inspiration from those outside myself. I received this teaching. They did it very often, actually. Approach truth with courage, love with humility. I was told that too often people rush at love, demanding it, and avoid truth at any cost, covering up unpleasant facts. Divine reality pervades every being. I learned to honour the truth in all faiths and philosophies, to accept deity in each creature and atom. I felt the love within all are born of the great mother of all, and we are orphaned now of the great mother, which makes us equal with everyone. Everything. I write this to bring hope, as every psychic person is aware that the year 2012 is not only the year of the London Olympics, but the culmination of Mayan and other apocalyptic prophecies. We get in touch with the huge black holes people don't particularly like anyway, in the middle of our Milky Way system, Sun, us, it. I've myself been guided to the sacred mesas of the Hopi Indians. I have met the sage Little Dan, who has passed into spirit recently, aged 105. With respect, I have received Hopi prophecies from elders, and I had the honour of introducing them to a Japanese priestess. She declared that the Hopis were, they believed, cousins of the Japanese. It's wonderful to be with people of that calibre. I never heard of the Mayans in 1952 when I received a vision of a copper-coloured goddess seated cross-legged across the sky like a copper sun. Beautiful. She had straight black hair and a profile I didn't recognise, but I've recently seen as South American. You know, a slightly curved nose, a slightly receding chin and forehead. But again, unexpectedly, a priestess of Isis took me to Yucatan 40 years later, where I witnessed archaeologists unearthing an ancient Mayan temple at Cova, built prior to Aztec and Toltec invasions, so they said it was before human sacrifice. I received communication from priests who live nowadays of the ancient face of South America, which has been revived, purified of any sacrifice, I was informed. They said the pyramids are working once more, cleansed of memory of evil practices. The faith is reborn, as are priestesses and priests. I did ask how they were manifesting. They said perfectly quietly, if they saw someone touring around and they felt that they were in resonance, they would show them mysteries. The fascinating city of New Orleans provided me with wonderful practices of voodoo, now revised to be a form of spiritualism, where a helpful relationship is established with benign spirits, lowers, from spirit spheres. I noticed it was rather lovely. I went to one of these places in New York. You see a man with a bowler hat, and then you see a lady in an apron, a cook. All these help us from spirit. And I like that if you have a top hat, you're a god. If you have an ordinary bowler hat, you're a baron. I received a prophecy, this time in Ireland, in our temple of Isis. This was awe-inspiring. The great African goddess Yamaya came to prophesy the coming of the Hurricane Katrina, which later devastated the city for a week or so. I was standing in the temple unexpectedly in a dream, and I was looking up, and above me on a shelf were 3 voodoo figures I'd got in New Orleans, one a real one made of sort of proper stuff, and the other was for tourists, but there they were. And then I became, on my right, a figure like a great mighty column, black column reaching to the skies and below. I felt overwhelmed with awe and offered to go on my knees. I was out of my body, mind you. My body was in my bed. Then I received the reply, it was like an echo. I am not an executioner. So what on earth? I didn't know what on earth this was about. Then when Katrina came, I saw it was our responsibility as custodians of the earth to either stop or deal with an earthquake, but we had an appalling tradition of what we'd done of the slave trade there, and we'd contaminated the place. It's our fault. We give ourselves, our fellow beings, and the Mother Earth fatal injuries, and we're doing it now. We do it. We are not punished when we act in an evil way, because we punish ourselves. The judgment of Osiris, of Christ, is to face your own conscience, which is from the Heavenly Mother and the Heavenly Father, the very thought of love. We are our own executioners when we sin against love and truth. But in our human evolution, we also bring about our own divine rebirth. And that is what I feel guided to emphasize now, as everyone's getting so gloomy and penitential. It's going to get worse, probably. Yes. 60 years ago, I received prophecy from the Madonna. My latest prophetic message came in my 90th year, and quite unexpectedly. So what do I feel about what is to come? We may hope. We, in truth, dedicate ourselves to any good work we feel called to do at the moment, and all will not only be well, but unimaginably beautiful. I don't quite see how when you think of what happened to Hawaii and the tsunamis, but it's awakening of the soul, like the Last Judgment, the second coming, that's the best way to call it. I end with the words of Golden Eagle, a Native American chief, who came through in our temple. He came through. He said he assumed the form of the 4 sacred cherubim, that is the Golden Eagle. He spoke through this entranced priest. I don't know what you are all so frightened about. I can only find one word to describe what is to come. Magnificent.